Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that all bell notification. In that way you won't miss any time I publish a new video. All right, so what are we going to be making today? Well, today we'll be making chicken scallopini. What is scallopini? Well, scallopini refers to a thin piece of meat. We'll be making our chicken scallopini in a mushroom sauce. So let's get started. Okay, so in order to get our chicken breast prepared, what we need to do is we need to slice it in half, okay? Because remember, we need this thin. Okay, so we're just going to rest our chicken breast down, and we're going to slice in the middle, because we want to get this thin. I want to slice through this. I did put some cling wrap down my board, but maybe I shouldn't. It's making it a little hard for me to work with. Right, so we're slicing this in half, completely in half. We want two pieces. All right, so we have our 2 pieces here of the chicken, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put it in this Ziploc bag so that we could pound it out even thinner. So I'm going to rest it in here. All right, let me move this cling wrap from here. Okay, so I'm just going to rest the chicken here on my board like this. And you get, if you have a mallet or a heavy pot, I'm going to use this wooden rolling pin, and we're going to pound it out. Now when we're pounding it out, we want to pound it in an outward position, so to speak. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to make some noise now. All right, so we have one done. I'm going to get to doing the rest of them. As I showed you, we're going to cut it down the middle, and then we're going to pound them out nice and thin. And then we will just lay them. I have a parchment lined sheet pan here, so I'm just going to lay it down here. Okay, let's just cut off this piece here. So we're just laying it down here, okay? All right, so we're going to get to doing the rest, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now we are going to season our chicken. We're going to be putting some salt. I'm going to be using some kosher salt, some black pepper. So I have to grind my peppercorns. I'm going to grind it in this here. Let's get some peppercorns in here. And I'm also going to be putting a garlic lovers seasoning blend. I will leave a link in the description if you're interested in using it. You don't have to. You can just season with, if you want, with salt and black pepper alone. But I'm going to add my garlic lovers seasoning blend. And I will leave a link in the description so you can see which brand I'm using. So let me just crush up this black pepper here. So I have my black pepper here. All right, now when you're seasoning chicken with salt, you want to season high up, okay? In that way you don't get, globs of salt in one spot. Okay, so we want to season high up in order to prevent that from happening, okay? Okay. Now I'm going to sprinkle some of my black pepper that we just pounded here, grind up with our mortar and pestle. I think I need to do some more. Definitely we need to do some more to do the other side. going to add a little bit of my Garlic Lovers seasoning blend to this as well. Sprinkle some on top here. Okay, we're going to flip over and we're going to season the other side. Okay guys, so our chicken is seasoned. So what I'm going to do is cover it with cling wrap until I am ready to finish the cooking process, okay? I'm going to just put this in the fridge until later. Okay guys, so let's get our other ingredients prepped for cooking later. So we're going to get our mise en place prepared. So I already cleaned my mushrooms, so we're going to slice them up. And this is how I'm going to be slicing my mushrooms. Okay. Now, I'm going to be adding something called seasoning peppers to it as well. This is optional. You don't have to, because not every one of y'all will be able to get access to the seasoning peppers, but if you can get access to the seasoning peppers, then it will be a nice addition. So we're going to be putting some seasoning peppers in it as well. And what I'm also going to be putting is about 3 cloves of garlic. So what I'm going to do is smash the garlic first, like this. And then we will peel it, cut off the skin. And then I'm going to mince it up. Put it to the side. Okay. And what I'm also going to add is some onion. I'm going to cut this up really fine. If you have shallots, you can use that. I don't have shallots, so that's why I have to use the onion. So we'll mince that up. So I'm not showing you, I don't want to bore you with cutting everything. So I'm just showing you how I'm going to be doing everything, and then off camera I will just cut up everything, okay? So I think I could add I'll add a little more onion. And of course I'm using about 3 cloves of garlic. You know what? I think I'm just going to use off all the onion that I have. Might as well just use it off. Okay. All right, so let me work on cutting up the rest of things here, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so we have our mise en place prepared, all ready for cooking. Okay, so I've cut up my mushrooms, my seasoning peppers. Remember I said this is optional, this is from my garden. I will take you outside now to show you how a seasoning pepper tree looks like. Some onion, because I don't have shallots. If you have shallots, you can use shallots. And about 3 cloves of garlic. So I'm just going to put some cling wrap over this until I'm ready to cook. Okay guys, so this here is my seasoning pepper trees. I have one here and I have one over here as well. And this is how the seasoning pepper looks, okay? So this is not a hot pepper, but it's what is called a flavoring pepper. Okay guys, let's pick some side here for our chicken scallopini. Just gonna pick some here. Alright, so I think that should be good. Okay guys, so we're gonna prepare our flour for dredging our chicken. So I'm going to be using gluten-free flour. I have about a 1/3 cup of flour I'm gonna add to this here. Okay, so this will be for dredging our chicken. I'm going to get this prepared. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of black pepper. So I have some peppercorns here that I'm just going to crush. Because we want to season the flour a little bit, you know. I have here. Okay, so season our flour a little bit. All right, and I'm just going to put a little bit of the garlic lovers seasoning blend in it as well, just to lightly season our flour. All right, so this is our flour ready for dredging our chicken. The next step that we're going to do now is prepare our cheese. So we're going to grate some cheese now for our mushroom sauce. Okay, so I have my cheese here. This is a Romano that I'm going to grate, and I'm going to use this part of the grater in order to grate it. Of course, you can use Parmesan cheese as well. Okay, so I'm going to get to grating this, and then I'll be back. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to dredge our chicken in our flour mixture, and then we're going to rest it on this sheet pan here, okay, with this rack. So we're going to take our chicken from here. We're just going to dredge it in the flour. Okay, I'm just going to rest it here now. All right, guys, so I'm going to get to dredging all the chicken, and then I'll be back. Okay, guys, so we have dredged all our chicken. So now we're going to head over to the stove to pan fry our chicken. Okay, so we're going to pan fry our chicken. Now, because our chicken is very thin, it will cook very quickly. It won't take long to cook. So maybe 3 minutes on each side is going to be good enough in order to cook our chicken. Okay, so we're going to be pan frying it. So I'm using avocado oil here. You want enough oil to pan fry it. All right, so I'm going to put my chicken in now to pan fry. I would not be able to do all of them. I'll have to fry it in batches. Two minutes has gone since it's cooking on this side, and I think I can turn it over. Because the chicken is so thin, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. I'm going to cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes now on this side. Okay, guys, so let's check this here. I'm going to remove it now, and I'm going to put it on the side here and temp my chicken to make sure it has reached the internal temperature that it needs to be. And then we're going to get to cooking the other side. Okay, guys, so now in this oil, we are going to brown our mushrooms. It's okay if some of the peppers got in, that's all right. I'm going to turn my heat down to medium low. I'm just going to spread out my mushrooms so that I can get it to brown. Okay, so I did add in the peppers to cook along with the mushrooms. So now what we're going to do is just make a little space here, and I'm going to add a little bit of ghee. You can use butter. And we're going to cook the onion and the garlic. If you have shallots, then you can use the shallots. We're just going to cook it here. As the garlic hit that ghee, wow, the smell is nice. You can use cold butter for this. I use ghee because ghee has less milk solids in it. Ghee is actually what is called clarified butter. And I have to use things that have less milk solids, so that's why I use the ghee. Now we're going to mix everything together. Okay, now what I'm going to do is add about 3/4 cups of chicken broth to this in order to make our sauce. If you want to use white wine, you can do that. I'm using chicken broth. Okay, so now we have to allow this chicken broth to reduce. So I'm going to leave this here until this reduces significantly. Then we'll be back on to the next step. Okay guys, so now that our liquid has reduced significantly, we're going to remove this from the heat and we're going to start to build our sauce. Okay, so to build our sauce, if you have cold butter, as at this point you will want to add in your cold butter to this. Here I'm going to add some cold butter and we're going to stir it in. Okay, so we're going to stir it in. We want it to combine with everything and melt. At this point we're going to also add our Romano cheese. Mix everything in. I'm just going to continue stirring because I want the cheese to melt. Of course, if you had Parmesan cheese, that would have been better, but I don't have any Parmesan, so I just have to use what I have. I think I allowed my liquid to dry out a little too much. So guys, if you want a little more sauce, be sure to make sure that you don't allow it to dry out too much. What I'm probably going to do is add a little more chicken broth to this in order to thin it out. So I will put it back on the heat just to warm through this chicken broth here because I want more of a sauce. Okay, now we also have to season our sauce. So I'm gonna, my cheese is not exactly melting how I want it. All right, let me put this back onto the heat and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so by adding my sauce back to the heat, I was able to get some more of the cheese to melt into the sauce. So now we have to season our sauce. So we're going to add some kosher salt to this. I'm going to add some black pepper to it. Let's mix it in. And taste to see if you need to add any more salt. Add a little more. All right, and now we're going to add the chicken on top of this. I'm going to nestle the chicken in here. We'll get the warmth of the sauce and the mushrooms. And to top it off, we're going to top it off with some spring onions. Doesn't that look pretty, guys? Oh yeah, that looks good. So there you have it, guys. Our chicken scallopini with mushroom sauce. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give this recipe a try. Don't forget to share with family and friends. Give it a thumbs up. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye for now.